Okay, so this is a video tutorial for myself for the next time I use auto editor. So what you do is once you have the video, okay, this video by the way has to be synced up with the talking head video or the other clip. This is the talking head, and I'm going to edit the screen recording because usually it has the best audio. So what you do is you click here and you type cmd. Okay, so basically it opens the directory of that folder. This way you can you don't have to write the full path whenever you use the command. So you go here, I created this command palette so I can all the testing. These are all of the tests you did, and essentially you have to start off with auto editor. Then you have to type the file, the file of the name. If you don't open the path in the folder, you have to type the full path. But since we opened the path from the folder itself, you can just type the name. Apparently you can click tab and it will choose the video. Anyway, you then click edit, and then this whole block of code, which basically tells you what are your parameters, your criterias for cutting. This is so you start off with this, and you basically change this value depending on how, like, what's the silence. I set 1% because I don't know why, but that video was so low volume, was so silent. I guess, yeah, basically 1% refers to the peak amplitude, peak volume. So you basically cut whatever is more silent than 1%. It is like a logarithmic scale, so it's kind of hard to calculate the decibels. I would love to just type out the decibels and tell him like, hey, below 36 decibels, like below this minus 36, just get it out. But you cannot do that. You have to use percentages. You can also use like for 6%, you can also type it as 0.06. okay, it doesn't really matter. The important thing is that you change this value. You cannot experiment with it. It really depends on the peak amplitude, the peak volume of that video, and I guess the lowest, which is 0. So yeah, just play with that, with the percentage to decide how silent you want to be cut, like how silent the video has to be cut. If the lower you set it, okay, very important, the lower you set it, the more clips, the more like silent clips you will place in the video. If you set it high, only a few clips will be chosen because they are basically, the lower you set it, the more silent clips you allow. So basically, even the short like silent okay, these sounds, it will pick them up. If you set it high, it will filter all of those silent kind of low volume sounds out. I set it very low because if I set it too high, it basically will cut out the end of the phrasing. Let's say I say a plural of topic, okay? So if I say topics, like the x isn't picked up. So let me see if I can show you an example here. Yeah, like no, I have no idea. Anyway, now that I think about it, I can edit this video with the auto editor. It could be cool, Anyway, yeah, so you do that. Then that is the value. Maybe I should cut this, yeah. And then you got stream 0. I have no fucking idea what stream 0 is. Then mincut is you change this value depending on how long the silence should be to be considered a silence. So basically, if the silence, I think this means that if the silence is longer than 5 seconds, it counts as silence. If it is not longer than 5 seconds, it doesn't count as silence. Let me check it with ChatGPT what he told me. Yeah, so mincut, basically if you set it as 3, it cuts silence that are longer than 3 seconds. So if the silence is longer than 3, like I said, okay. Then we got minclip, and I set this to 0 because I want any sound to be picked up. And I am the one who chooses if I want that sound in, because maybe, let's say I'm recording a video and you say like 3 words separate from each other, or you say a word like completely isolated than the other stuff. I wanted to be picked up. If you set, for example, minclip to, instead of this 0, you set it to like 3, okay? That single word will not be picked up, because the loudness, like the loud clip has to be longer than 3 seconds, and I don't want that. So yeah, I set it to 0 so that every sound, even if it is like a stupid sound, you still pick it up, okay? Because I want to be able to choose, because sometimes I say words like this. You probably didn't notice it because I probably autocut this video, but this is the thing. So I usually set this to 0. If you are like talking a lot and you don't stumble on your words and you kind of are very fluent in English, you can set this higher. But usually if you're recording a long video and you're kind of trying to, say stuff together, and it's kind of strange to explain, but yeah, you get the point. So I set this to 0 usually. And then the margin, okay? The margin is that if you set it to 0, so if you don't type it at all, the default is like, I don't remember, maybe 2 seconds, I don't know. But if you set it to 0, it basically is, this happens. So this is not set to 0, okay? This is set to default. I basically didn't touch this. And this is set to 0. So as you can see, the little sounds are very, as you can see, like there are these small cracks, which are clips. Let me show you. Okay, so as you can see, like it literally has no margin. Like when it reaches the threshold, it cuts the video. That's it. The margin allows you to have like these larger segments, okay? This is literally the same clip, I think. Where is it? I mean, it's kind of the same clip, but this has a threshold. As you can see, there is some, there is some space between the end of the cut and the start of the cut. Well, this, here there is no margin, basically. As you can see, it reached the threshold, and then it stopped. And it is very useful to have low. The problem with the old auto editor workflow you had before was that the margin was too much, and you had to basically edit it anyway. What I wanted to have was a smaller margin, so basically it was more fast, okay, fast paced, and that's cool because usually I had a large margin and I had basically to cut in and out, I have to basically stitch it closer together. It was fucking annoying to do every time. So by having a close to 0 margin, I have to still experiment with this, but you will find it in the examples, I guess. Maybe I will set it in the description if I remember. And yeah, basically the smaller margin you have, the closer the voices will be, the closer the segments will be. And hopefully it will sound more smooth and not like separated. In some cases it is better to have it separated, but not in all cases. So that is something. And yeah, I mean, I guess you can play with these attributes, and you basically copy paste this command here, and you set the name of the file as raw or whatever the fuck this is. You decide this name, and you copy paste this command. You play with this, and also this one. So you play with these values, and then you go on the folder you were editing. Again, you click here, you click CMD, you type CMD, this opens, and you basically paste the command, okay? So everything is set. I'm gonna try and modify the margin now. Instead of 0, I will try and set it to 1. Let's see if this works. You press enter and you created the XML. Now you can drag the XML directly into Premiere, and this is the video, okay? And this is the cuts. So let's see how this plays out. I mean, there is a lot of margin here, honestly. Let me see here. This was the 0 margin thing. See the difference? As you can see, there is a lot of difference. Like these first things here have a lot of margin. Actually, that's fucking annoying, honestly.
In this video,
no, that's too much margin. So yeah, I guess I will change that and let you know. Okay, I set it to 0.2 margin. So it's basically 0.2 seconds. Okay, yeah, it did not really work. I set it to 3 seconds to see if there is any difference. I will try to set it again to 0.2. I don't know why it didn't really work.
Trust me, it's not as
okay, so if I set the margin too high, basically the video is not auto edited because it kind of overlaps with the other cut clips. So as you can see, I didn't save much time. I mean, I did cut out the big chunks of silence. I guess these are kind of a rough silence cut, which is great, I mean, but yeah, so I guess set the margin to 3 seconds if you want like a rough cut, like a good starting point. Then you can like manually work it, okay? So it is more of a semi-automated method. Now we'll set it to 0.1 maybe. Let's see if it works. Let's import the file XML. Okay, so it is 16 minutes long. This is the cut with 0.1 seconds of margin. And let's see. This is the let me talk so you can see the video, because if I don't talk, the video will be cut out. Blah 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 blah. I want to equate the zoom. I cannot fucking do it. Wait. Yeah, anyway, let's just hear. Oh fuck! Let's just hear this difference.
Well, if you want to skip this, however, if you're ready, however, if you don't want, however, if you are ready to take action and you want to skip this lesson, okay, you just want to get into the practical steps of what to do. feel free to bypass this lesson and go straight to the module called the game plan. Let's start with how progress works. Let's start off with how.
Okay, so there is still a little bit of margin. I think that's cool. Like this small margin is maybe needed. I will test out the different things, and when I upload the video, I will leave the final comment, command for this video, which is not. It is kind of an anomaly. Like usually, I think it is a higher threshold, but since this video was very, very silent, maybe it is going to be different. I guess I'll keep up. No, I will not update the description. I think I will update my notes on this, but I wanted to have a video so I can basically explain it to myself in the future.